And we can go on to another truly Daebak album.
Yes. So we wanted to do a retro review of IU's Chat-Shire.
Yes. I think I literally just showed the Discord messages on the overlay. Oh well, sorry, video people. I guess you'll get a sneak peek. Or Andrew, can you please censor that? If he listens to this, we'll see if he does. Yeah. Anyways, our next topic.
Yes.
Hand it off.
Retro review of IU's Chat-Shire.
Yes.
Guys, just jump into the songs?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sure. So this is, like many of IU's albums, absolutely amazing. Yep. It starts out with the opening track, Shoes, or New Shoes, depending on how it's translated. I think this is a fantastic opening track for an album. It's like very upbeat and has like a very like trademark IU like airy vocals going on. Mm-hmm. It's just like a very good like feel good song, and it has kind of like the theme of the whole album is kind of like that Alice in Wonderland type mystical thing going on. Yeah, and has kind of like that good like nice little almost like a mystical sound to it. Like it's kind of just like fairies, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Great song, great intro. I think this is one of her best intro tracks for many of her albums. Maybe not as good as like Secret on Last Fantasy. That's probably the best album intro track. But this is probably my second favorite after that. It's like a very good way to open the album, and it sets. I think it sets the theme for the rest of the album very well.
For sure. That's also a thing that I said was like kicking off the album with this song was honestly a really nice choice, because I think it sets like a distinctly like IU sort of vibe. Like it's chill and it's kind of elegant, I guess, in sort of way, but it's also really playful at the same time.
Yeah. It's that like very, like I made notes of like multiple songs in this album where they just sound playful, and that's definitely true.
Yeah. I think that's definitely the point, especially with it being sort of like an Alice in Wonderland inspired concept.
Yeah.
Like I thought in this song, the guitar and the string instrumentals are really nice, and like IU's vocals are sweet as always. And even like this is something that's kind of a trademark of her, is that her voices are like powerful at times, but she does such a great job of making it sound completely effortless, like she's not even trying. And that's just what's so like amazing about like IU's vocals, I think, is she's able to make these crazy like notes seem like trivial, I guess. Like even looking back at like Good Day, like the high note at the end, she doesn't like like she does the gasp at the end, but she still doesn't really seem like she's completely straining herself out, you know? It's just her vocal style is amazing, and it's one of the reasons I love her music. So
for sure. So the next track is Zeze. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it. This is definitely a song where like the sound of the music matches like the lyrics. So like the lyrics are about like she's like, apparently this is based on like a book that people read in Korea. And like that's the name of the tree. So she's like the tree, and she's talking to like this kid.
Yep. And
so like it's like very like playful type lyrics, and like the sound itself of the music matches what the lyrical content is.
Yeah.
And it just like it comes right after Shoes, which kind of has the same like feel to it. This kind of continues the theme. It develops like the Alice in Wonderland like kind of mystical thing going on. The instrumental is fantastic, like all IU songs. It's got great strings in it. IU's vocals, of course, are amazing.
Yep.
Chorus is really fun, and then also everyone should watch the special live performance of this on YouTube, where she has like the like three guitarists and like someone playing like some weird drum thing. I'm not sure what the instrument is, to be honest, but it's a very great live performance. You should definitely watch it.
Yeah, it's like it's one of those one to K videos, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know exactly which one you're talking about then. I watched that so many times.
Yeah.
All right. So like speaking of like the lyrical content, this song had like a really big controversy surrounding it.
Yes.
Where
yes,
like
it did.
So like the lyrics are telling, Zay Zay, like they're telling the tree to climb up her.
Yeah.
So people were like accusing her of being like having pedophile lyrics.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
it's like they're almost like sexual in connotation, but like I don't know. I personally wouldn't I guess I could see where people are coming from because the character is a child, but I think
Yeah.
she intended it to mean like a man.
It was a very like weird
If it
controversy.
is
Like
supposed to be sexual, I guess.
like the first time I heard the controversy, I was like, wait, what? Like it almost seems like hard to believe that
Yeah.
like I use a pedophile. It was a very strange
Yeah.
thing.
I don't like you guys are overreacting to this.
Yeah, so I definitely was not on board with any of that.
Yeah. It's kind of weird too. Like this is one of the only times I've seen where there was a kind of a controversy about lyrics in K-pop.
Yeah, because usually people just ignore it.
Yeah, well, people either ignore it or like the thing I said was like most big idols tend to like play it fairly safely in that regard.
That's very true.
Like, because it's got to be as marketable as possible, even if it is their artwork. I guess it's like kind of you do have to be kind of conservative at times when it comes to those things, but I don't know. This is like honestly, this is one of my all-time favorite IU songs. Like
Yeah.
this is probably the song that I've listened to the most. I think it maybe.
Oh, interesting.
Like I've listened to this a lot. Like
Yeah.
like I love the blend of like traditional instruments such as like the piano and the bass and the guitar with like electronic elements used on her voice and like the me
Yeah.
parts of the chorus. Yeah, and like the chorus is super catchy and like yeah, again, this is just a song I find myself listening to like really often. So yeah, like it's up there for being like my all-time favorite song from IU. I really like it.
Yeah.
Like it's up there with like Good Day and like stuff like that. I really love this song. So yeah. Also another positive for me I kind of is the controversy. I kind of like that it's controversial.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I think a lot of times in the current day art's not really offensive enough sometimes. So I kind of just like that it has a little bit of controversy attached to it. So
Yeah.
it's kind of cool.
And the controversy actually extends into the next song too, because people were kind of tying in the music video for 23 into like the same thing.
I did not know about that part.
Yeah. So I guess we'll talk about 23 now too. So for 23, this is one of my favorite IU title tracks for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think I've said before that I generally intentionally completely ignore all lyrical aspects of K-pop. I just don't really look at the lyrics, never read about the lyrics, never pay attention to them in any way. This song was an exception, and I only looked into the lyrics because of the controversy about them. So people were like trying to like point to certain things in the lyrics of the song to like match up with like the pedophile thing.
Yeah.
And they like completely missed the point of the song. Like the point of the song is, and I'm a little bit, like I'm a little bit surprised that her label allowed her to like go this direction with the song, because the song is kind of like about how she's like having mixed feelings about whether or not she should assert herself as an adult or like continue kind of like, because like especially her earlier albums she was like very like infantilized, and like the styling was very like much like innocent pure concepts.
Yep.
And she makes like references in the song to like, do I want to like go back to being like the innocent little character playing thing, or do I want to like be an adult? And like that dichotomy is like something you wouldn't really normally expect in a K-pop music video.
Yeah.
And there's like multiple things of like where she dresses up like in her old type styling, and then like she like makes a voice, and like the vocals in the lyrics kind of like match up together. So there's like call and response parts where like she's talking to herself, and then like she talks to herself in the lyrics, and it's really fun. And I think the song does a very good job meshing all that together, which is why it makes it one of my most favorite.
Yeah.
And on top of that, it's just like a very enjoyable, fun song to listen to.
Yeah. Like I think I totally agree with that, in that like at least in my mind I see this as kind of like the turning point of when IU sort of like took ownership over her own music. because I think Chat-Shire is like the beginning of like what I call like modern IU, I guess.
Yeah.
In that she took a lot more ownership over the like artistic aspects of her work. And like I was talking about this, and I think it was in my algorithmic art class. It sounds weird, but it's a cool class. And we were talking about how like especially with the postmodern movement, I guess, like it's like the art piece itself is often not the art, but the context surrounding it is.
Yeah.
And like obviously the art itself, this song is fantastic, like even as just a pop song, but I think like the context surrounding it like adds another like
For
really awesome layer to it. So yeah, like there are a few like a few K-pop artists that I always make sure to check out the lyrics for, and like IU's not really one of them, but like
Yeah.
I think like maybe I should almost because like it's like I have read a lot of the lyrics to a lot of her songs just because like they always seem to have some sort of thoughtfulness behind them, I guess. And even with her like short film series like Persona, like she clearly puts a lot of like thought into her work and sort of expresses herself very well that way. So yeah, I guess I should probably add her into like that sort of tier, like because like everyone knows how much I love Epic High, and like their lyrical content is a huge thing there. Even if I don't speak the language fluently, I always every time look at the lyrics for every single song that they put out, because it's really thoughtful. And yeah, that's one thing I do definitely appreciate about 23. Like I spammed the hell out of the song when it first came out.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah, like I use like carefree, almost sounding vocals. Like again, like they lend so well to the infectious hooks of the verses, and especially in the chorus, which like
it's an amazing chorus.
like it sucks you right in. Like it's so catchy. And again, like the funky and fun instrumentals like really bring the song so much energy, like from the bass line to the string section to the like electric guitar rips in the background. Everything is so well done, and I definitely agree that it's easily one of her best title tracks. And I think like honestly for me the song was an instant classic. Like as soon as it came out, like it never gets old. It's so good.
Yeah.
So
and I think like the music video too is I really like kind of those like weird music videos where like Red Velvet does it a lot.
Yeah,
where it's
I
like
love
a little bit strange
music videos.
Yeah. And like so I think this is honestly this might be my favorite K-pop music video. If not, it's certainly up there.
Yeah, it'd definitely be up there as one of my favorites. Like, I always say my personal favorite is Red Velvet's music video for One of These Nights. I really, really just love the cinematography and sets and stuff like that. Like, it's not even a music video that costs a ton to make. It's just like I love the visual design on it, and that's this one also like is there for me, like with the mixtures of like different sets and transitions and like 2D animation and 3D space.
I love like those like the whole end where it's like weird 2D cutouts and they're all like distorted and stuff. That's really cool like stuff. And like you don't see that anywhere else in K-pop music videos.
Yeah. It's just I love this kind of stuff. I love like quirky and weird, and like IU like rings all those bells, I guess, for me in the right ways. For sure. So
and you have like all the, like the dichotomy with like her like adult self and like her cute self with like the bear costume, and like really good symbolism and pairing and cinematography. It's just fantastic.
Definitely.
So the next song is The Shower. This is just like a very beautiful IU ballad.
Yes.
You definitely know what you're getting when you go into like an IU ballad. It's kind of just like pared back, beautiful strings, beautiful piano.
Yes.
And sometimes I don't like the pacing of, especially like a lot of K-pop albums fall into this, where like the album progression is either non-existent or kind of strange. I actually think this album flows really well together.
Yes.
And even though at the end like it kind of bounces between ballads and up-tempo songs, I think it does a very good job with the specific songs chosen that still flows quite well.
Yes.
And I think this is like a good song that kind of brings you down from 23, which is more upbeat.
Yep.
And then the next song, Red Queen, is upbeat as well. This is like a nice little break.
Yeah, I mentioned the same thing in my notes. Like I said, this the song functions kind of as a palate cleanser, like in the middle of the album, which I thought, like compositionally speaking, was a really good idea. Like again, it's the thoughtfulness that really makes this album stand out to me. Like there's a lot of like she put a lot of thought and care, like her and her producers or whatever. Like
it's a very cohesive album.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So the next song is Red Queen.
Oh wait, hold on.
Oh, sorry.
I thought maybe you had more to say about the actual song.
Oh no, go ahead.
So once again, I use gentle yet like she like very gently yet like very masterfully controls her vocals, and like she's very like it's doing like almost like a whisper type of singing, like kind of like I mentioned in the Bullplug on review, and it's just like it's so good. Like it's not even belting or anything, but it's still just like you can hear the control in her voice, and it's awesome. Like for the instrumentals, I really like I don't know what it is, like an accordion or something that they were using.
I was trying to place what that was too. Like I thought maybe it was a harmonica, but I don't think it's a harmonica. I think it is an accordion.
Yeah, that was my first thought actually, was that it was a harmonica, but then I was like, that doesn't sound quite right. Like it definitely sounds like something that's getting air like compressed through it. So I thought maybe accordion.
It's great, whatever it is.
Yeah. And yeah, I also said like this is a perfect song to play when you just kind of want to relax and chill out for a bit. Like it isn't boring, it doesn't put you to sleep, but it still has just such a nice chill vibe to it.
Yeah, it's like I love on a lot of her ballads, like the difference between her ballads, like the difference between this and like some of the ballads off Palette is like they're very, very different, despite the fact they're all like IU ballads. Like they don't fall into one type of like stereotype or something.
Definitely.
Okay, so now the next song is Red Queen. This is one of my favorite songs from the album. It's just like a very fun, upbeat song. It has an amazing chorus. It kind of sounds like just repeating myself, but her vocals are amazing. As always. Instrumental is amazing. She always has instrumentals that suit her vocal talents, and like she's not the most talented singer, but they never misuse her voice. It always is appropriate for the song, and everything flows together and matches very well. And they just do a great job with the song particularly. Yeah,
see, I think she is an incredibly talented singer. Like I think she's like for me, one of my favorite vocalists easily.
Yeah. She's definitely one of my favorite vocalists. Probably either her or Taeyeon are my two favorite.
Yeah.
I mean, she's not like a classical opera singer or something. I
gotcha.
I think even like Taeyeon's a better, like more technical singer than she is.
Yes, I could see that. I think
she's obviously very good. Like I don't mean to like impugn her talents or ability.
Right. I think for IU, like it's almost like again like that sort of understated, effortless sort of sound is what really makes her stand out to me. Like it's I guess it's just the difference of Taeyeon is like really like a power singer, whereas I think IU is like she really specialized in kind of like the again like understated, gentle sort of vibe. Like anyways, this song I thought was more of a return to like her old style almost, like which is never a bad thing, by the way. Like
you could definitely see this song being on like maybe towards the end of Last Fantasy, but definitely you could see this on Modern Times.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking. I thought that mostly because it kind of brings in almost like a show tune sort of vibe. Which like I thought she did so well with in the past, and like again on Modern Times. Basically like she basically like transplanted, I guess, like her old style and like sort of like modernized it a little bit, and I think this is the album to do it on because this is the start of like her more like contemporary era, I guess, of her music. And like the chorus is super catchy, and this one often like pops into my head randomly on some days. Like it's just it's really fun. And lastly, I said like you said, no need to really continue commenting on her vocals. You know the drill. So
yeah, exactly. So the next song is Knees. this is kind of like an interesting one because it's like a different version of a song she released for winning Best Female Artist at the 2014 Eminent Asian Music Awards.
Oh,
So,
really?
like,
It's the same song?
yeah.
I
So
never
like
even knew that.
she won Best Female Artist at the 2014 Mamas, and then she released on like Lowen's YouTube page, or I guess won the K.
Okay.
It's like her. I think it was her first fully self-composed and self-written song, and it's just her vocals and like an acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
And then that was like in December of 2014, and
Okay.
then this album came out like October 2015,
Okay.
and then they released this song, and it's the same lyrics as the other song, but obviously it has a piano, it has like strings, it has like a much more developed instrumental. I think I obviously love both versions. I think
Yeah.
this version is actually a little bit better because I think it's like they have different charms to them. Like obviously, I think it's actually similar like, with the two versions of XX for Bull 4 that the other one might be more like I'm not even sure which one's more traditionally like IU, but they're both very good. The other one's like very nice because it's a nice, very minimalistic song. This one's
Yeah.
nice because it's more like a little bit more developed and produced.
Yeah.
I think this one's a little bit better. This is probably the weakest song on the album, but that doesn't mean much because they're all fantastic songs.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. That being said, I really love the piano work on this song. I thought it really lended well to the overall, like, I don't know how to say it, like, I guess, like, somber almost vibe of the song.
Yeah.
And I think IU's vocals, which are even more gentle than ever on this track, were also really good. Like, this really is a ballad that isn't super special in terms of, like, musical innovation, but I think it just does such a good job at the basics of what make a ballad good.
Yeah.
And at the root of it, it's really the vocals. Like, they really do a great job. Yeah, like, basically, like, it's really, like, a fantastic example of what I think of when thinking about a Korean or K-pop ballad, pretty much. Like,
Yeah.
it's very much in that vein, I guess, and it does it really, really well.
Yeah. And I guess following like the shower and Red Queen, this one's more like it goes like down for the shower, then up for Red Queen, then it goes back down for knees, and then to finish it out for glasses, it goes like back up.
Yeah.
Just like a little bit more like upbeat. This is one of my favorite songs from the album as well. It's probably like 23 Red Queen, then glasses, I think. But amazing song. I will say I think the album should have ended with this. Like there's that weird bonus track that they threw on at the end.
Oh, I don't even have
which we'll discuss. Yeah, well, I'll talk about it at the end.
Okay.
But like, I think like officially, I think this is where the album ends, and then the other one like doesn't really count, because this is like it stylistically and like thematically, it like is a nice ending place for the album. I think it's a nice ending track. On some of her previous albums, she has a tendency, like Last Fantasy specifically, she ends with maybe like too much of a downer song, and I think this is a better type ending song.
Yeah, like kind of a midway sort of thing.
Yeah, but the instrumental is just fantastic on this. I really love all of like the instrumentals for all of her songs are just so amazing, and this is definitely one of the better ones. Her vocals are, I mean, fantastic again. Everything flows together well. It's just a very fun song.
Yeah. I love the like trotting / like walking beat they sort of go with. Like almost feel like I'm going on kind of a stroll. Like all the different instrumentals sort of like blend really seamlessly with the vocal melody. Like I think it just is really playful and fun, but it sort of still maintains the chill vibe. Like we said, kind of like a midway point. I feel like the vibe of this kind of ends like where it started with Shoes almost. Like it's not too high energy to do homework to, for example. I guess I'd put it that way. And honestly, I think this is a song that I kind of underrated in the past, and I think now that I should listen to more often.
It definitely grew on me. Like the first time I listened to it, the album, I remember really liking 23 and Red Queen. Those are like the two standouts, and then this is the one song that really grew on me the more I listened to the album.
Yeah, like I've listened to this album like tons of times. Like just Like I never listened to this particular song like on its own ever. Only when I listened to the album. So I think I should pay more attention to it.
Yeah. I have a tendency to, like, on a lot of albums, kind of tune out by the time you get to the end. So maybe you don't appreciate the end songs as much.
That could be a thing. Like you're like, oh, maybe this is done. Like when a couple weeks ago when we were listening to the new Tool album, like when I was getting towards the end, I was like, I'm exhausted. Like this is really good, but I'm exhausted.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I guess it's kind of that, but on a much smaller scale.
So the physical album of this comes with like a bonus track on the end.
Okay.
And it's an OST she did for The Producers, which is a drama she was in.
Okay.
The reason I think the song, like, it just doesn't match the album whatsoever. Like, it's a good song. It's also called 23, but it has no relation to the other 23 song.
Oh.
It's not like a different version or anything. It's just a completely different song.
Okay. Like it has the same exact title?
Yeah, they're both called 23.
That's confusing. Like, I like 23 by IU. Oh, no, not that one.
Yeah. So like, nobody ever talks about this because, like, it wasn't released, to my knowledge, it wasn't released digitally. It's only on the physical.
Yeah, no, it's not on here, on Apple Music
like
at least.
Yeah, there was, like, a weird controversy because she, like, apparently she sampled Britney Spears' vocals in the song, but then, like, didn't give her credit. So people were like, she's stealing Britney Spears. There was something about that. But the song is, like, it sounds like a Britney Spears song. It's very like electro, which is not what you would expect from IU.
Especially on this album.
Yeah, it does not match the album at all. It's a perfectly fine song. I like the song.
Yeah.
I don't consider it part of the album, and like when I make playlists and stuff, I don't include the song because it just doesn't match anything else.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up later because that sounds really strange.
It does. It is.
So. Yeah, I think we usually don't rate rewind or what did we call it? Retro reviews, but like I probably would have given this a 10 anyways. So
yeah, this would be easily a 10.
Like this is
if it went above 10, I'd give it above 10.
Yeah, like an 11 out of 10 on like our rating scale on Discord, which y'all should join, by the way. Yeah, basically I guess that's our retro album review here. Yeah, it's a lot more like I guess mature. Like it reminded me of like a Sunmi song or something like that. I guess like a Sunmi like B-side or something. Yeah, it's definitely a more like mature progressions for them. It's got almost like a darker, more mysterious tone to it, which I think is kind of